Greetings. ñu ngi leen a nuyu yéen ñëpp in the spirit of Gambianism. It's been a minute. It's been a while since I went on air to do any show. It's been close to a month. I haven't been on air to talk about anything. A couple of reasons. I was doing a lot of behind the scenes and back end work. Number one. Number two, I was also under the weather for about a month. All the shows that I do, from Nyohobai show to Lutah Gambia to Dem show to Menyanta with Alaji Ibrahim Mama Koto, I wasn't doing. And of course, I was supposed to start the sentiment show all this while, and I didn't. This is gonna be a quick one, supposedly. Yesterday, February 18th, marks 55 years since our country supposedly became independent. The million-dollar question I ask is, are we really independent as a country? Are we independent as a nation? Are we independent as a people? How liberated are we? When 55 years since we supposedly gained independence from Great Britain, here we are as Gambians. Poverty is killing our people. Basic health care we struggle with. 3 daily meals is luxury for the average Gambian family. When our kids are sitting on the floor to learn, when villages have to travel miles to have access to clean drinking water, when villages have to travel miles to have access to clean drinking water. Now, everything I'm saying will be backed by facts. Just in 2019, we've been contacted by a village called Kalataba Village in the North Bank region, Upper Badibu district. Their women have to drive donkey and horse carts to Farafenye in order to have access to clean drinking water. Thanks to Gambian Talents TV, who published a video of this village, we touched the hearts of a lot of philanthropists or philanthropic groups, including that of the Barrow Youth Movement, who promised to build a borehole for this village, which they didn't do, thanks to a Lebanese businessman who actually constructed and built a borehole for Kalataba village in North Bank region. Their women were struggling on horse carts and donkey carts to go to Farafenye and nearby villages to have access to clean drinking water. We are just talking about a few months ago, Few months ago. The evidence is there. Anybody who wants to challenge me, link me up and I will send you the video, the link to the video for you to watch. Or you can do your own investigation and go to Kalataba village in the North Bank region of the Gambia. And this is one of hundreds other villages in the country who are struggling with clean drinking water. Number two, I've talked about our kids sitting on the floor. Still in 2019, Gambian Talents TV provide exclusive coverage for a few villages in the country whose kids are sitting on the floor, on the mats, to learn. Ci ay basang sajada la xale di toog pour mun a am access to basic education. We are talking about the 21st century. We are talking about 2019 here. So in a village sax di nga ne okay, it's probably the rural areas. My own town, Farafenye, my own bird town, Farafenye, in 2018, 2019, 2017, 2018, 2019, students of Farafenye Primary School in 2017 and 18 were sitting on the floor. Farafenye Primary School, Farafenye Murtani Primary School, the students were sitting on the floor to have access to basic primary education. And we call ourselves an independent nation. As we speak, thousands of Gambians are dying in our country because of lack of basic health facilities in the country. Across the board, people are dying of all kinds of complications in our country. Minor and major complications. This is not a joke. It's not a lie. Yes. Anywhere from lack of blood. Anywhere from lack of proper procedures being carried out on people. Women delivering die along the way. Women die after giving birth. People have basic illnesses that they could have been cured from. They die for wrong diagnosis, for somebody being negligent and not carrying out their duties, for somebody who was supposed to be on shift, taking a day off or time off to be doing something else that is not part of their schedule. This is a fact. Exactly, Lena. Misdiagnosis. Lack of medication. Lack of equipment to carry out their duties and functions. This is evident every single day. Do pass a wala week. They gisulen a video. Now people be dañ ko xam. The people, the Gambians suffering. Just last week, ngeen mujjee gis the latest video of the young man, I forgot his name. Ki nga xam ne his leg broke. The young man with a broken leg who was going to attend President Barrow's 2016 presidential campaign and had an accident, and in the process he was going to attend President Barrow's presidential campaign in 2016. He had an accident. Now he's been running around all over the country looking for treatment. He couldn't have been cured in Gambia or treated in Gambia. He went to Senegal a few times. She said thanks to Esafal, who of the TRRC, who helped him, the lead counsel, who helped him. He's been charged over $4-5 million to get treatment in London. And according to him, Esafal promised him he can only give him $1 million. The rest he's not able to afford. Basic procedures we cannot carry out in Gambia. This is not a joke. We've seen several people in our country every week do pass The Gisulen Gambian talents last week, in fact, we posted three different videos. My WhatsApp, Dafane Kadi blow left and right, day in and out, morning, night. People contacting me. Sick people in the country resort to Gambian Talents TV to expose it. Du leen dee neex videos yu ngeen dee gis, all those videos you guys see on our platform, let me tell you, they don't like it. They don't like to be exposed because they are desperate. That is why they have it. Most of them, when they contact us, they think we have millions, we are millionaires, we are supposed to be the ones to do it. And all we tell them is we have a platform that we can expose you on for people to help you. That's all we can do. We have a model release form that they sign, a waiver, to give us permission to take their videos and publish it. In fact, we have people who will end up dying because they don't have the help, and their families will engage us to take down these videos. But we have a model release form that they sign. Before you see anybody on our platform, they sign a model release form which we take time to educate them on. Lu bari nag lu ngeen dee gis is only the end results. But we have a model release form from every single individual whose video we post on our page. From young people, old people, desperate people. But they always accept because amun choice. Knock nañ on all doors. Their hopes are shattered. Their dreams are destroyed. There is no hope for them but GTTV for us to expose them. Some of them end up succeeding, some of them don't. When we interviewed that young man, I forgot his name, last week when Fatsamba interviewed her, the next morning, my phone was blowing from calls from the office of the First Lady. They do follow us. Guy, they knew they follow, they do. And I know they are watching this video as well. They contacted us to debunk what the young man was saying. All the allegations that this young man said against the office of the First Lady and government, they debunk almost all of it. They contacted us. The office of the First Lady, they are listening to us. The young man was talking out of desperation. Yes, you could tell that he's angry. He has a lot of anger issues, but he's frustrated. A 24-year-old young man. He was talking out of frustration because he has knocked on all doors. Imaginal, nga génna for the love for President Barrow as a presidential candidate. Nga génna pour attend campaign koko as a fine young gentleman. He must have been 21 years old at the time. Did them pour attend campaign for President Barrow only to have an accident in the process, and that is it for him. His dream is shattered. He's now on crutches. They want to amputate his leg. So when I talk about the health care, we know something about it because we have family members who die for very little health complications that cannot be treated in the country. I have family members who and friends and colleagues who go to the hospital. You know, I ask them what happened. They tell me, okay, test nañ ma. How did they test you? Well, jël nañ seen machine yooyu teg ko suma dënn bi teg ko fii teg ko fële. Are you kidding me? What I end up finding out is the most they do for them, some of them, is just taking mere vital signs. And they call that testing because the average citizen doesn't know. Because the average citizen doesn't know. Vital signs, jël sa temperature, blood pressure, etc. and heart rate. And they call that test. Wala ñu poke sa finger bi and tell you they've done some tests for you. Before you know it, you just start di la jox garab. I'm not saying this is what is happening across the board, but it is happening a lot. In fact, sometimes last week somebody contacted me to do sensitization and talk about the use of fake drugs that are made from India and other places that is widely spreading in the country. Are we really independent as a country when these are the issues we are dealing with? Now coming to my topic of the day, what triggered this video. Are we independent when our government is barely representing the interests of the average Gambian citizen when it comes down to it. Obviously, those of you who follow me, those of you who follow us on Gambian Talent will know that we've given exclusive coverage to the 3 Years Jotna folks. You will see that I had several interviews with the leadership of 3 Years Jotna from the local folks in the Gambia. I have interviewed their chairman Abdul Njai on numerous occasions. I have interviewed Haji Suwane, their PRO, on numerous occasions. I have interviewed several other members of their local executive. I have interviewed Sirif Sise in the UK. And I have, above all, interviewed the founder and top executive member, King Spot. Let me tell you something. We are not very popular with 3 Years Jotna. King Spot, the last time he called me, had called me a traitor and all kinds of names. Saga nama, Has nama, Oye nama, tribalist, and all kinds of names. He doesn't talk to me anymore. So I'm not holding brief for them. But outright, we know that the way our government is treating them is bunch of baloney. The way the government is treating the 3 Years Jotna executives is far from being fair. It's far from being fair. They set them up to a great extent. You can see we went ahead to do investigation on the Joswang youths that have been accused of being involved with the 3 Years Jotna, to have set them up and what they said supposedly they did their involvement in the whole 3 Years Jotna. Mansa that you have heard, Sumare, supposedly the guy that was driving the motorbike, the Baro Youth Movement motorbike, who got into the 3 Years Jotna crowd to destabilize them and get them fired up so that they can react to him, for the police to start firing tear gas on them and stuff. We've done investigation and we continue to investigate this 3 Years Jotna issue. We have seen the different things that happen. The top executives call them anything. Yes, you have a lot of their members who acted unruly, who acted ignorant and stupid on the day of the protest because they were provoked and angry. They seem to have been provoked, looking at everything. They've been tested in December and they didn't do anything. I can say the crazy King Spot, of course, their founder and leader, which Haji and them, in my interviews with them, have debunked that he is not 3 Years Jotna. He's not 3 Years Jotna. He's the creator. He will release a lot of audios that are not in line with their principle or what they would have ended up doing. King Spot will release a lot of audio. He enjoys that until this day. Munge gene audios. They scared people the past 2 days. Last week, we wrote a piece on him in which he released an audio threatening that they were coming out on Independence Day, that folks should stay in their homes, nobody should go out. Psychological warfare is what they were playing the past couple of days. So he's still on it. This video is not for him, but Dinachi Profito and tell him to stop. Because we have a country to build, we have a nation to build, and this is not a joke. With all these threats that he's coming up with, sitting at his comfort zone in America and just releasing audios, and you have innocent people following him. But the way our government is handling the 3 Years Jotna case is not right at all. They went to court on Friday, and there was no court. You want to destroy the lives of these young gentlemen? They tendered themselves. I was the last person to interview Haji. I was the last person to interview Haji that day. After the protest. Late at night when I was doing Lutak Gambia to them show. Haji Swane, Marco Muje interview. I called a lot of their members and didn't get hold of him. When I got hold of him, I asked him, is he going to run away? He told me he wasn't going to run away. He told me he wasn't going to run away. He will go tender himself at any police station that they want him to go to. This is what he told me in my interview with him. Go back and listen to Lutak Gambia to them show. The day of the protest, that 26. Lutak Gambia to them show. It was on a Sunday. Go ahead and listen to it. Pull it on YouTube or Facebook. You listen to my interview with Haji Swane. So they didn't run away. Their members have acted in certain ways, but they've been provoked. There is evidence that they've been provoked. You keep these people in mind too. We are not talking about yet our colleagues whose media houses, they closed down. They closed down. It's not right. It's not right. A lot of young people, or Gambians rather, rely on these radio stations to function, to feed their families. You've rendered those people unemployed at this point. King FM, it's not okay. We are in solidarity with them. We were in touch with our colleagues, GB and them. My colleague, Pamodu Bojang, in as much as he calls me and Gambian talents all kinds of names, he is constantly in a fight with us, especially me, creating all kinds of stuff against me. But guess what? We believe he's been wrong, and we stand in solidarity with Pamodu Bojang and the member caring team. And we urge the Gambia government to actually reopen their radio stations forthwith and give them back their license. We are in the 21st century. Regardless of what Pamodu does or says, his contribution cannot be overemphasized. He used to live in the UK. I've been engaged with him for several years now. For several years. More than 5 years. Since he used to be at Kibaro Radio. When he used to connect my shows and programs on Kibaro. He left what he has in the UK to go back to Gambia and invest. If nothing, he has created employment for a lot of people in the country, a few Gambians. That alone is worth commending. In addition to that, he is supporting the cause of promoting divergent views and educating and entertaining our people. Media is power. The same tool that you use, President Barrow Sukodaranan Oho, it's the media, rather than the online media that he used. Mom si bopam nim ko waxe muntu malen dibo dunta fomma ñoo suute, that the president cannot recognize or realize. When you watch his video, biya jamme banyene du wacha bim deme be nango be concede defeat be ndokale ko, the next minute Yaya Jammeh announced the following Friday that he wasn't leaving. Who was there to cover the statement he read? Fim sole mbubo mu yelo mi nga xamne mu ngi wax sax di lox, mu ngi wax di lox di laka angala yu forox. That is far from the statement he gave yesterday. That is far from the statement he gave yesterday. That's far from his comportment yesterday. And that's far from the comportment he had in Birkama when he was talking about 3 years Jotna. Di joxoñ loxom bi ni ne adiata me mbejang for 2021 akuyata me mbejang for 2021. Kum neex mang fi be 2021, kum naxari mang fi be 2021. Fim sole xaftaan bu yelo bobu di wax di ñaan Yaya Jammeh pour mu wàcce respect the verdict and the will of the Gambian people. Because are we really independent when 50 something years later, 55 years later, media houses are getting shut down in the country? When 55 years later, our health system is dilapidated? When 55 years later, our schools, moy lolu. On the 29th of this month, he is heading to Basse pour inaugurate the college. It's good. But ñaata schools ñoo nekk in the region that you could have upgraded You start from the basics, going up. Building a college is not enough. What happens in that college if you have not put together the resources, the mechanisms, the basics? Elementary school foofu la lu nekk loo gis si foundation bi la. If you don't set the right foundation for the kids, for the young ones to excel, for the young ones pour seen jànga baax, you don't give them the conducive environment, they don't have the resources. Ay toogu yu ñoo toog, computers and the resources that they need. O ñoo xam ne ñu ngee struggle with hunger, ñu ngee dee seen biir yi feesut. If they cannot have those, what will a college do for the people in the provinces? You are going to inaugurate the college in the provinces. Empower them from the young age. We have a lot of young people struggling at that young age. Now, primary reason of the video, are we still independent? Moom lay waxtaanee. Li trigger video bi is the Gambia Transport Union. Tey as we speak, already probably it has taken effect. I had people contact me and people even commenting on our videos, talking about or asking why we haven't talked about the transport or the problem between Gambia and Senegal. We are on record on several occasions to discuss the issue between Gambia and Senegal ak yëfi xeebaate yu bari bu nekk ci suñ diggante. Between us people, for the most part, our folks, Senegalese, the people can be nice to us, but whenever there is national integrity issue, whenever there is a concern between ñun ak ñoom, they represent the interests of their country, which I cannot blame them on. The principle of Gambia ak Senegal benn bopp la, kenn mënut koo xar ñaara. That is a fact. Is a fact. We should not, in reality, because every Gambian has a Senegalese relative and we are interdependent on each other so much. Ñaata hundreds of thousands of Gambians ñoo nekk biir Senegalese ñoo nekk biir Gambia. Ñaata Gambians ñoo nekk Senegal. How many of us? We interdepend on each other a lot. A lot. My mom's root is directly from Bambougar, Sokone in Senegal, by the border. The first major settlement or area you will have, region that you will have. I have relatives there left and right. My mom goes to Senegal and stays there for a whole month. In fact, she's currently here in the US. Before she came, she went to Senegal and was there for a whole month. A whole month. Before mu ñibbi si Gambia. But guess what? When it comes to integrity issues, when it comes to the issue of nationalism, Senegalese don't compromise that. And you cannot be mad at them for loving their country or representing their country's interests. Now, where am I coming? Us Gambians. We are the ones who are not patriotic. We are the ones who don't love our country. We are the ones who don't love our people and ourselves. We've all seen Mr. Omar, the Cisse, the president of the Gambia Transport Union, the press conference he did last week, in which he broke down the efforts they made over the years, the past few years, to try to have the free flow and movement of goods and services between our two countries as dictated by the ECOWAS protocol. As dictated by the ECOWAS protocol. Money, we are in the 21st century. And all countries should be civilized to talk about immigration. We know it can be a threat sometimes to national security and stuff, but within countries who share the same values, the same food, the same culture, the same religion, the same beliefs in a lot of areas, we have so much in common, the same languages. Really, our relationship should be better. And when it comes to the free movement of goods and people, we should really be a lot more lenient. But guess what? Senegal always follows their interests. And they have so much interest in the Gambia for now. Yes, they supported us big time to have Yaya Jammeh out of the country. Duñ dof de, mag du fecce yal na dee de. This wasn't done for free de. There's a price attached to it de. Hate Yaya Jammeh or like him, these are some of the areas in which he was doing very well. Yes, he must have messed up some of our foreign policies and diplomatic relations, but there were areas he was good at there. He stood his grounds on a lot of areas there, especially our relationship with Senegal. Both Yaya Jammeh and Jawara stood on their grounds on a lot of things, as history told us. Jawara, we learned when it came to the Confederation and a few other things. He was very meticulous in the way he handled it. Our relationship with Senegal, history has taught us. Dama dee waxtaan ak mag ñi de. Dama dee waxtaan ak ñi fekkee de. Dama dee waxtaan ak ñi fa nekkoon de, ak ñi ci bokkoon de, ak ñi ci jàppoon de, ak ñi ci liggéey de. Jawara, we are told, has done a lot to protect the territorial integrity of our country and represent the interests of the Gambia when it comes to our relationship with Senegal. Maslahana, Rafetalna, he's done it with all the Senegalese presidents from Senghor to Abdou Diouf to Ablaye Wade. To Senghor to Abdou Diouf rather. Now with Ablaye Wade, when Yaya Jammeh took over, he's had a lot of challenges, back and forth. A lot of things that he could have handled differently, but he has also handled a lot of things with Senegal. He did not let them take advantage of us there. It was a pride issue to some extent, but he also has integrity or protected the territorial integrity of our country to a great extent. Now Senegal, jàppale ñu, was their interest. It was their interest because there were a lot of things that Senegal wanted that they couldn't get out of Gambia. They couldn't. And we are seeing the impact of the things. As soon as they finish, as soon as we took over, that is where our president went. After the elections, when Yaya Jammeh considered defeat and changed his mind, President Barrow went and sat there for a while. For a while. That's where he was sworn in the first time. The 19th of January, 2017. Muntumalen Dibo Dunta Fomma Nyo Sute in President Barrow's voice. Yagud Benfe Fate Hejufi. Now what happened? After he came back to the Gambia, immediately Senegal started representing their interests. Same soldiers, you see, Bopam Yineka Bir Gambia, is their interest that they are the ones protecting us. We're talking about ECOWAS soldiers, how ECOWAS is economic How ECOWAS is economic. Go and talk to the average soldier, economic soldier. Benna other nationalities nga fa gis. Most of them are Senegalese soldiers. So in President Macky Sall's head, he can always use this on President Barrow. Yes, he can always use this on him. You go and see. Just go and see the average economic force. Number one is employment for their citizens. Fitna nekkut suñ dëkk bi so much so that we will have foreign soldiers in our country responsible for our national our security for 3 going to 4 years. There should have been a transition plan, a mechanism. We have interviewed and engaged Attila Laios, the EU ambassador to the Gambia, on numerous occasions, and he has said it. I have played these videos on you guys on record on my Luther Gambia to them show, where the EU ambassador Attila Laios is talking about how security sector reform is not felt by the average Gambian citizen because Dekabi is not as secured even with the presence of the economic forces. President Barrow lañ nekk di protect ak ay ñoñam, not the average Gambian citizen. Everyday Gambians are being killed. Everyday Gambians are dying. Everyday Gambians are maltreated. Everyday you get robbed Gambians. We are seeing all kinds of crimes. The crime rate is in the increase. Li ma leen a wax is fact de ku ko bugga xam rek nga weddi ko nga bugga ma challenge contact ma si suuf ma send la video boobu. I am not in a position to play this video. I would have played it for you guys. Attila Laios, the EU ambassador to the Gambia, said it. The security sector reform is not felt by the average Gambian person. And guess what? Even Honorable Maifati, who was the leader and head of that security sector reform and has made a lot of noise about it from their retreat in Kanilai to all other retreats and engagements that they have, is now criticizing the security sector reform. Maifati is criticizing it. So you have the presence of ECOMIC in the country to protect President Barrow. One is employment for their citizens, same interests. Number two, it can be used by President Macky Sall on President Barrow. Def ko bu bay ili da koy tere. Ku mom senga yi man su ngeen ma falut imam ma teggi suma senga yi. Ku fi def bunta yi yow su ngeen ma falut ma teggi suma bunta yi. Ku fi def palanteer yi yow su ngeen ma falut ma teggi ko. The same button can be pulled by President Macky Sall on President Barrow. The presence of ECOMIC shows we are not independent as a nation. Lima wax dama ko xam de waxantuma de. Just do the analysis. Gambians, let's be using our minds and brains and be thinking and not just talk. Number two, we talk about the Senegambia bridge. This bridge was inaugurated. This is where I come from, Farafenye. It touches my heart. I see my colleague and brother Ibrahim Job watching. Ibrahim Job watching from Farafenye. This is our area. New bridge Fufu. Just few months ago, whenever my team has the opportunity to go to Farafenye, whenever they have the opportunity to go to Jara Soma or that area, they always go to the Senegambia bridge. Go there now and see. Bamba Tenda and Yili Tenda are dead thanks to the bridge. Yes, it promotes the free flow of goods and services, the ECOWAS protocol. Pour gëna yomba rataxal communication ci diggante bi. Hey, li Sénégal la interest de. Suñ président bi nag made an unwise decision foofu ñu tabas ñabas rush inaugurate bridge bi indi Youssou Ndour indi Jaliba Kuyateh because election was coming pour ñu yokk ko ci portfolio of Youssou Ndour of Macky Sall because election was coming. We know. The bridge wasn't finished and it was inaugurated. My team has interviewed so many vendors there. Farafenye, ku xam Farafenye, xam ne palace la woon. A lot of market for Senegalese. Suñ waree ñëw cross fekk féeri bi tëj ñu dem Farafenye, fanaan Fankanta, fanaan Edis, fanaan Nanwer, fanaan at any of the local lodges and motels in Farafenye. Dem ci jaaykati dibi jënd fa seen dibi reer. Make phone calls using Gambian Gamcell telephone companies. A lot of money. Them teaching gas stations, isn't it? Fill up their tanks. This is the fact. That's what happened. There were people selling different kinds of stuff. They have different things to purchase while they are in Gambia. Now guess what? All of that is gone now. With the coming of the bridge, our vendors are there and not have access to any sales daily. They don't. You know why? Because Postekir Ayip, which is the border village, that is where Senegalese stop now. If they have to sleep over, they sleep over at Postekir Ayip. If they have to buy food, they buy it at Postekir Ayip. They have to buy gas, they buy it at Postekir Ayip. Everything they have to do. Our government did not think of an exit route and a plan for our vendors who were actually here selling. And this is on both ends, both Bambatenda and Yiri Tenda. When I do Luta Gambia to them show, I will show you these videos. You hear it from the horse's mouth. I'm not just tarnishing the image of the country. I'm not. Both Bambatenda and Yiri Tenda. People coming from Zigan Shore. On the other side. They don't have to stop. Guess what? Because they can stop in their border village in Senegal, whether on the side of Ziganzor or on the side of what you call it, Farafenye, Leka, Nan, take care of themselves, do all the things they need to do, and they just go and cross. All they pay is the ferry fee. Any other income that was coming into Gambia prior to the building of the bridge is ceased. Could our government not have negotiated this? Here we are not condemning the construction of the bridge, no. But could our government not have negotiated other deals? Where ndax mënuñ want to create other platforms and avenues where at the end of the day business will still continue in Jara Soma, where all the money that was being made will continue to be made in Jara Soma, where all the money that was being made would have continued to be made somewhere in Farafenye. But guess what? The only focus was on building the bridge, and there is no exit route for anybody else who was there for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, selling there or having their shops there as vendors and making their livings. I remember one old man was being interviewed by Fatsamba, mune mom fila yere njabotam gi yep. Domam yi dem nañ be am jabar. Ay ha dingol kulu wotole. Are we independent? Not only that, not only are we losing money, or it affects the economy somewhat, because they will tell you, yes, they know pay bente. They pay just to cross the bridge. Now what happened to the rest of the money that they were spending within the country? If you are really a sensible person and you're watching and listening to me, you will know what I'm talking about. You'll know what I'm talking about. Not only that, President Barrow and Macky Sall took credit of the bridge. Lo bañ bañ naar bi sédel ko xeesaayam. This negotiation of this bridge started long time ago in the 80s. And we've seen a video, we've published the video of Sadauda Kairaba Jawara. Sadauda Kairaba Jawara being asked about this bridge in France. In France, we've done analysis of this thing when President Barrow came and beat his chest as if he's the one who constructed it. When we know the bridge, the foundation for that bridge, the foundation stone for that bridge was laid down by former Vice President Aïssatou Ndiaye Seydi. Kan nga nax while taking unnecessary credit. No Banban Yaya Jammeh, he laid the foundation stone for the bridge. He started the construction of the bridge. When I came to Gambia in 2017, the bridge was there. I mean, the construction, pillars, poles, everything was nunki bir ndox mi. Tokan nga nax ne yow yaa sampa bridge bi. You finish it, true. You lobbied for some extra funding to complete it. Kudos to you. But give credit where it is due. Ñu pare tuddee ko Senegambia bridge pour please Senegal. Pour please Senegal. They both stood there and defended it. Both Macky Sall and President Barrow defended it. They were being defensive to assure Gambians that they have no hand in it. This is another thing that happens between Gambia and Senegal that they are benefiting from the presence of ECOMIC to the construction of this bridge, the losses that it's having for Gambia and the gain that it's having for Senegal. They used to spend days at the Trans-Gambia Bridge. It is true. They used to spend days. And every single day, they have to eat. Every single day, they have to stay in motels. Well, when you stay in trucky, apprentice, you buy a trucky. They leave their apprentice in the trucks to spend the night there. That's where I'm from. Some of them who have friends or family there, we have family members who will come and stay at our house in Farafenye. They were going to cross to go to Casamas. They spend the night in Farafenye because they get there late and the ferry is closed. They have to come the next morning. Now they don't have to spend the night over there. Now let's come to the fishing industry. Let's come to the fishing industry. In December, a boat carrying migrants capsized in the source of Nuadhibu in Mauritania. We've done exclusive coverage on that. Just about a month ago was the 40 days burial, the 40 days charity for the young people who died in Nuadhibu. May their souls rest in peace. We've interviewed a lot of people, survivors, until this minute. Just yesterday, the government held a joint press conference between them, the different ministries, led by the Ministry of Tourism, to debunk this accusation of pedophilia and Gambia being a sex tourist destination. My reporter, Aissatou Jallow, was there when she started to ask the questions about the issue of unemployment and the like. As soon as she started talking about Bara and stuff, my uncle Ibrahim Sankare cut her short and interrupted the question she was asking. Aissatou didn't even finish the question because Ibrahim Sankare took the conversation and started preempting and interpreting her question as if he knew what she was going to ask. The same thing, Ahmad Ba started caricaturing her as if she was reading a statement when the young lady was giving them a lot of background information, trying to give them background information of the unemployment rate in the country. What the youths of Bara say. The University of the Gambia having graduated so many young people who are sitting down and not doing anything. Having our sisters dating 70-something, 80-something, an 18, 19, 20-year-old, 25-year-old young Gambian girl dating an 80, 70, 80, 90-year-old Tubab just because they are desperate to travel or because the Tubab is the one who is able to take care of their basic needs for them. They cut her short and took the question over. But guess what? We've engaged the youths of Bara who told us that Bara is not Mununfar Bay. They cannot do anything in Bara besides fishing. They rely on fishing And guess what? According to them, the government gave license, which of course we know about, not even according to them. The government has this agreement with the Senegalese government. And of course, the EU, we've covered these signing ceremonies and these discussions when they were going on with the discussion with EU, where they said they issued license to EU to actually come and fish tuna. Ne tuna rek la ñu wara jappa and ci diggi geej gi la gaay wara dem in the middle of the sea. Now we've heard from the people of Bahara complaining about the Senegalese fishermen who even came and rented houses in Essel, apartments in Essel where they stay. They come very early in the morning to fish. Jàppa suñ jëni yépp yóbbu ko Sénégal dem jaay ko. This is the people of Bara talking, not me. Again, we have those videos. I have played this and I have done analysis on this. Maybe you may not be following, but I have done analysis on this. And the people who constantly follow me on Dr. Gambia to them show will know and must have seen these videos. Our youth say they went on the back way. A good number of them, because Bara relies on fishing. They rely on fishing. And going to fish, there is nothing. Because Senegalese Yinjoh license are the ones taking all the fish. Go to Tanje. Go to Bara. Anywhere there is a fishing, any fishing hub in Gambia is dominated by Senegalese. And Minister Ahmad Ba or Sankare, one of them had the audacity in their press conference yesterday, day before yesterday, to say that, well, wait till Tobaski or Korite, you go to the fishing hubs, you are not going to see anybody. There is no fish in the country during this period. Yes, because you gave all the good fishing license to the Senegalese and they go and catch all the fish, all our fish in the water. You gave them the license. Ngeen pare ñoo yeb jox gaay license do pare di ñu wax ne so demee fofu noonu and you are blaming the youth. Watch the press conference barki demba. We aired it. We were there to cover it. This is why we are not very popular with them. They don't even invite us on a lot of the things that they do. The government, they have difficulty engaging us. Without anything that has to do with, that is coming from the Ministry of Information. Minister Ibrahim Asila, all of a sudden, cut off all kinds of communication and stuff and will not talk to us. Ibrahim Sankare. From when I interrogated him about the issue of the backway returnees back in the days when I interviewed him during the deportation, when they were misleading Gambians, they blamed the Gambian youths for staying home and being lazy, according to Ahmad Ba, when he referenced Senegalese dominating the industry. Go talk to the youths of Bara. They tell you they don't have any opportunity. They don't have any opportunity. Go talk to the youths of Bara. They will tell you. They went on the back way, most of them. In fact, according to some of them, they turned their fishing boats into boats that go to that they used to go to the back way, because they cannot catch any more fish. There is no fish to catch. The Senegalese are given license. They break the terms of those licenses. According to them, when they report to the maritime service, instead of the maritime, they said there are insiders there. One of the fishermen said, the president of the Bara Fishing Association says, as soon as he sees or their people see the boats, the fishing boats, they tell them, Muduga ci galam, daw dem, topalen, those fishing boats, be gis len, ñu call marine wax len ko. They call the marine and tell them. And before marine gets there, they're gone, because somebody supposedly sneak and give them the marine again. They've accused the Ministry of Fisheries, and you've seen the interview we've had with the ministry. Now, Senegalese dominate that sector in our country. How independent are we? Su fekkee ne ñoom ñoo jox jën suñ license yi ñoom lañ jox license, so many licenses, and they dominate that. They catch a lot of our fish and send it to Senegal. Yet we are independent. Yet we are independent. I will not see a single person unless somebody who just hates or is just trying to talk politics here. Lima wax is not only politics. This is nothing against the government. This is nothing against the government. This is the hardcore fact. This is the current reality in our country. There's nothing I'm saying here that you will not find to be factual. Purna Senegalese have a lot of license. Have been issued a lot of license. In fact, Sankare was being defensive. Go and watch that press conference. As soon as Aissatou Diallo started talking, like, let Kofka Dugisel home. Okay, I know your question is about you are asking whether the government issue fishing license to the Senegalese or not. I can bet you because I discussed that question with Aissatou Diallo before she went there. I discussed the question with her. The question was nothing about fishing license, Sibopam. But she was being defensive because go back and watch the press conference. Once you finish this video, just scroll down and watch the press conference where Ahmadba was calling our youths lazy. And you see when the Gambian Talents reporter was asking the question was about unemployment in the country. But Sankare dafa kof wax ji si gémmiñi Aïssatou Diallo. Dafa kof wax ji. Bala mo pare Ahmadba start di ko caricature. You watch them bully the journalists, invite them over, and joxuñ leen platform. Ku si commencé wax ñu kof wax ji sa loxo. Moom mooy di amoo dati ku moo tee daa. Between Sankare and Ahmadba. And yet we are independent. Senegal control our fishing industry. Now, coming back to the transportation issue. You watch the press conference of the Transport Union and what their president said. If you didn't watch it, go ahead and watch it as well. He broke down all the efforts that they made between them and Senegal all these years. All these years. And the efforts they made. From meetings they had to the agreement that they had, the contract, the MOU. Pour ñu wara jox Senegal, suñ government we went and signed that deal for Senegal to have 150 license. Ñun ñu am 100 license. To, of course, commercial vehicles that can move freely between Gambia and Senegal. Defuñ ko 50-50. According to him, Yangi Degamune, they didn't do it because they are starting and they were trying to test it. Fufu alone, they have 150 license more than us. They represent their interests in their negotiation. Now, does our government advocate for our interest to a great extent? Lu nekk dinañ ci yoxal. That pass, implementation commencé. Senegalese vehicles move in and out of Gambia freely. Fast forward, they made several efforts, and are not allowed. He talked about the vehicles that tried to enter in Senegal and were stopped. The bus that was supposed Gambia Public GS, whatever the name is now, bus that came, that was stopped multiple times, diggante December and this month. Our government is supposedly negotiating. Our government is following diplomacy. Our government is following the ECOWAS protocol. Our government is doing this and doing that. Get to work and represent the interests of the people. We have the Senegalese people taking the law into their hands according to what we've been told. Violent fine to be. Now, as of today, the 19th, they said they are going to revenge as well. They are closing all the borders. They are closing Karang. They are closing Farafenye, Basse, and all the borders. Gambian side are closing all the borders in revenge because they've made several efforts. They got a letter from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs who told them to go for a meeting at Karang. They went there. The Senegalese never showed up. Respect to you. Respect to authorities. They stopped the bus a couple of times, and the Senegalese embassy has to be involved. The Senegalese embassy has to be involved. You have ordinary Senegalese citizens taking the law into their hands. You have Senegalese security officers abusing our journalists. But logis dafa am fu moo dooree su dee suñ government si boppam ñooy abuse suñ journalists yi di tëj seen radio stations yi, shutting down radio stations and arresting journalists, putting them behind bars. What makes you think Senegalese cannot do it, will not do it? What can we tell them? When our own police officers don't also respect our journalists, our security forces, see us as threats, what can we say if Senegalese security officers do it to our journalists? What steps has the government taken towards this issue? I will do a thorough analysis of this on the Lutak Gambia to them show, inshallah. How independent are we as a country? Now, finally, let's watch and see. And I will be on record as the first person to have said this. You watch and see our transportation union implement what they say they are going to do. Close the borders, and the Gambia government will come and reopen it. And they will have a confrontation with the transportation union. And eventually, don't be surprised if they arrest and detain these people and criminalize them. As I put it there, this is what I am implying. Transportation Union, after exhausting all means, after listening to them, after agreeing to terms and conditions that are not even within the ECOWAS protocol from what they said, just because the Gambia government is trying to please the Senegalese government, President Barrow is trying to please Macky Sall, and they negotiated even things beyond what the ECOWAS protocol asked for, just because they are trying to please Senegal, or just because they are partly trying to have, a good, smooth relationship. It's about time our government start to represent the interests of the Gambian people. Nguur gi neex na. You may want to be there for a long time. You listen to Macky Sall a lot. You listen to your counterparts a lot. Let it not only stop at that. Let it not. Let it not only stop at that. You are there to represent the interests of the Gambian people. And at every point, whatever negotiations you do, you should factor, you must factor the interests of the average Gambian citizen and citizenry. You must represent the interests of the average Gambian citizen and citizenry. Any negotiations you do, whether from the president, between president to president, state to state, whether it is the minister of transport, minister of foreign affairs, minister of trade, whatever minister, whenever you do negotiations on behalf of the Gambian people, please do it in good faith to represent the interests of the citizenry. Whether it is the permanent secretaries or at any level, whoever, whichever government worker, whenever you do negotiation on behalf of the people, represent the interests of the Gambian people to the best of your ability. Represent the interests of the Gambian people to the best of your ability. We need to be independent. We need to be able to do things Senegal represent their interests. I am not mad at them for representing their interests. They get passengers. You carry passengers from Gambia trying to get into Senegal with them all the way to Dakar. No Gambian is going to take their vehicles are going to be there in Karang. And as a result, they block that. They want you to drop them off at Karang. They pick them up from there and take them to Senegal. They make money. They represent their interests. Now, should they take it to the next level by abusing our people, by harassing our people, by insulting our people, by maltreating our people? No. But there's nothing wrong for them to represent their interests there. It's about time we represent our interests at the policy level, Fufuradore, at the negotiation table. If we don't respect our people, how do we expect foreigners to respect us? If we don't respect ourselves, how do we expect other people to respect us? But lima de wax all the time, right? This is not, we are the government. In short, that's what I want to say. We are the government because what we do in our homes is the same thing we take to the government. On a day-to-day, how do we treat each other as a people? Us Gambians, do we respect each other? Do we support each other? Do we advocate for each other? We are always pulling each other down. We are looking for each other's downfall. We don't support each other. And that is why it is hard. That is why it is hard. We don't support each other. We don't uplift each other. We don't help each other. We are always bringing each other down. For these reasons that we do at home, these actions we carry out while we are home are the same actions we take out when we go to work in any government institution. At any government institution. That's what happens. It takes us to do bad. It takes our citizens to act. Bala ñu jël each other serious. Before we take each other serious. Foog mu dem to the extreme. We don't do right because it's the right thing to do. We do the right thing because we are under pressure. That's how we treat each other at home. That's how we treat each other at our neighborhoods. That's how we treat each other in our workplaces. So if we do this at home and in our neighborhoods, when we go to work, automatically we activate the same button. And that is why our governments barely do anything to represent our interests, because the government workers are the people. They are the people. They are the people. It takes our transport union to come out and do a press conference and talk about all the things, the horrible things they went through. They are very patient. They've tried everything. They've listened to the government. And now, the government last minute will get on the negotiation table. Senegalese are doing tough. Doing tough. They know what they're bound to lose. They will push the button. And if we are Banganoi, if we don't do anything, they will continue. But since our transportation union has spoken, that's when our government will act. In a few ways. They either act by negotiating with the Senegalese authorities, and at every point, Senegal will represent their interests. They will analyze the situation and represent their interests. Will our people do the same thing? I hope so. I hope so. Is this going to be the end? No. Because guess what? The Senegalese are very stubborn when it comes to their interests. Duñ ko dee negotiate. I just had this conversation with a Senegalese, person not long ago, Demba actually yesterday, when we were talking about how um I have somebody that was supposed to go look for a US visa, and the US embassy did not have a counselor for a while. And this is a trend in Gambia actually. They just sit for an extended time, not have a counselor at the embassy. And we have to go to Senegal, put them UTI visa, any Gambian Bubuga visa during that time. And guess what? They are accepting payments. You process your DS 160 over here, do everything that you need to do, def everything, and then you go to GT Bank and pay the $160, $8,160 is or whatever. You pay it to the bank. Why taking a payment if you know you don't have a counselor to conduct interviews of people? Couldn't you have stated that on the form somewhere? Or couldn't you have tell the bank to stop accepting payment for visas because you're not accepting? Léegi nga ñëw Gambia, they accept payment for your visa application ba pare. You cannot do anything with it. And it's not transferable. You cannot use the same visa application to go to Senegal to look for a visa there. Whatever the case is. So demee Senegal, transport bi laa yóbbu foofu, place bi nga stay, and all of the things you need to do. We need to check it out. But guess what? The average Gambian doesn't do anything about this. We are comfortable with it. When I was talking to this Senegalese guy and I told him that this is what happened, we need visa at some point. There is no embassy, there is no consular at the embassy, and this is not only specific to the American embassy alone. The first thing he told me, du ngeen génn grève ndeyam, génn leen grève. Yes, if that was Senegal or any other country, the citizens would have protested. But the average Gambian banga nooy ñëpp dañoo toog soo callee embassy bi si boppam, it takes forever before you get hold of them. ñëpp dañoo sit down there. It starts with us as a people. We don't advocate for ourselves and for our rights. And that is why the Senegalese take advantage of us. And guess what? Mark me. They open the border today. The drivers are going to continue. They will protest it. And the Senegalese government will go ahead and renegotiate the deal with Gambia. Something their interest must stand. Because Gambian vehicles leaving Gambian soil to go to Senegal is not in the interest of the Senegalese. And as a result, the average Senegalese driver and the vendors comme li ñu dal moo leen a dal si ñoom tamit. Li ñu dal at Bambatenda Yilitenda is what's gonna happen. Because the Gambians who stop at Karang buy food from them, buy water from them, also later take a garage bi tejna, you wanna get somewhere to rest, you will buy different things, you will buy credit from there and everything. Now you don't have to go through all of that. All of this can be done from Gambian side in Gambia. Get ready. Nga xamne suñ ñëwé ñu process all their documents. They are gone. They are gone. A lot of things don't They may not have it again. The vehicles they were using to go to Senegal, to go to Dakar and other places, they're not going to use those vehicles again. And these people are going to protest. Those are the people who blocked the road. ñooñu ñoo xam seen interest de ñu génn taxaw block yoon bi that our bus is not gonna go. Comme ni ma ko waxee, we will do thorough analysis on this. We will bring you Mr. Omar Cissé moom mi nga xam ne mooy ak Mr. Wilane ñoom ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk di transport union to bring you the latest and up-to-date situation. When I do the Lutak Gambia Dem Show on Sunday, I try to bring them to get the latest and up-to-date information on this whole issue ak fan la gaay tolu. We will try to catch up with the rest of the information ak everything loo xam ne moo nekk di go on. Dinañ jéem a try pour jox ko Senegalese authorities yi ñoom tamit to see if we are able to get hold of means. We will contact our counterparts and see how best we can get information from their side, from their transportation union and the like. Kon mang leen a bëggee bu baax a baax a baax. I did not want this thing to be long. It's almost like a full show, but I didn't want it to be long. I will do a proper show where I will bring you facts, bring you videos, bring you interviews of different people. ñu ngi leen ay bëggee bu baax a baax a baax leen gërëm leen santa ci seen déglu bu rafet ak seetaan bu rafet. If you agree, great. su fekkee ne agree yu tamit, thanks for sharing your opinion. I mean, this is our country and we just feel that we are not independent. 55 years later, the Gambia is still struggling with a lot of things that countries have passed long time ago, and yet we call ourselves an independent country. Things like basic healthcare, things like basic running water, things like access to education, etc. When our government is still jailing journalists and doing a lot of things. Lila na won ko with you guys, right? Thank you very much. Share the video. Dula wanyi why dina yok as can be. It will enlighten a lot more people to give them a perspective that they haven't seen before. Lima fi wax yep are mostly based on facts, based on what I know, because we are in this and we constantly provide coverage for this thing. I've had people ask me, why are you not talking about Gambia and Senegal on numerous occasions? And at the end of the day, for no reason would we ignore a thing that is of national interest that represent us. Dama xawoon a feebar rek xaw a jàppa, but maa ngi tane bu baax a baax a baax. Jërëjëf, thank you very much for watching, and in the spirit of Gambianism, I greet you all once again.